Take a look at the camera.
Test, 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 test.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Battlefield 4 live stream here at E3 2013. I'm Alex Mendez, joined by LevelCap, and we're going to go ahead and hop into some of the gameplay here. And LevelCap, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. I am pumped. I'm excited to be here. I'm exhausted, inebriated. I think I got all the E3s there. Excited, exhausted, inebriated. That's what it stands for, right?
Yeah, I think there you go. That's actually very, very true. I am as well. We've been going strong all week long, you know, talking about all the things that Battlefield 4 has to offer. But I want to ask you your thoughts on the game. I know you had a chance to play it. You posted up an awesome video on your YouTube about it. So what do you think so far about Battlefield 4?
I think it's awesome, man. Anybody out there who's played Battlefield 3 is guaranteed you're going to love Battlefield 4. It's just more Battlefield 3 and better. It's refined. The graphics are better. The balance seems to be working a lot better. They got all these awesome new additions like sights, camos for vehicles and stuff. That's cool. I'm looking forward to that. I've already had some awesome Battlefield moments in the game, and honestly, I've had like maybe 4 play sessions. Yeah. And so that's pretty cool right there.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I mean, it's those only in Battlefield moments that you get. You know, it's more than just a tagline. It really is the truest thing possible, because this is like one of the most unique games out there, and you can actually see players are playing in the background. So I think whenever we can, we just jump right into the action. Of course, we're joined by LevelCap, prominent YouTuber. If you guys have not had a chance to check him out yet, it's youtube.com/levelcap. And there, you can actually post up a lot of Battlefield videos. Now, actually, I want to ask you a little bit about your, I guess, your start on YouTube, as well as just that passion that you have for games like Battlefield. I know you do a lot of open combat games. How did it all start for you, man?
Well, I got into YouTubing for Battlefield right at the end of Bad Company 2, and all the alpha stuff was coming out for BF3, and my mind was kind of like blown just like everybody else. I was like, there's no way a game can look this good. Yeah. So I got into that because I was looking at the COD community, and they had all these guys teaching you how to get better. Like they're breaking down maps, breaking down guns, telling you like all these strategies. And I looked on YouTube for Battlefield videos doing that because I wanted to get better. And I didn't really see a lot of them. I was like, you know what, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to get in there, I'm going to break down the guns, tell people tactics, like universal tactics, all that stuff. Yeah,
without a doubt. And you certainly have. I mean, it is something that you have kind of created a name for yourself in regards to just helping people to get better. I guess crossing the level cap, you like that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that was a bad joke. I mean, who knows? But no, but that really is some cool stuff. Now, in regards to just the I guess the success that you have had on your YouTube and all that stuff, I mean, how has that impacted your life?
It's been great. I mean, it's really hard to complain about playing video games for a living. Yeah. And coming to E3 and getting to play the pre-alpha of Battlefield 4. It's just been a lot of fun, and I used to work in the game industry a little bit and in the media industry and just production area. And, those jobs are great and everything, but the freedom of YouTube is great. To just come out here and not have to be expected to say all these great things. You can just speak your opinion. And that kind of freedom, I think I love so much. And especially coming here, because I don't have to lie about anything. I don't have to say, like, oh, Battlefield 4 is so good. If I don't like it, I can actually just come here and be like, Battlefield 4 is awesome. I'm more excited for this game than anything. And
you can be yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it certainly is a benefit. Even me as a commentator, when I came and I did this event, they told me straight up, they were like, just be honest and all the things that you see, and there's some freedom with that as well. So I definitely can I guess relate to you in that regard. So let's go ahead and talk about the action. Obviously, you're looking at pre-alpha gameplay, the giant text on the top left of the screen there, I guess that's the thing I'm curious about picking your brain on. This is pre-alpha stuff. Are you like kind of blown away by what you've been seeing here in regards to it being pre-alpha?
Yeah, relating back to the Battlefield 3 beta, the pre-alpha seems like it's really solid right now, perhaps even more so than the BF3 beta. So I'm quite happy with the way the game's playing out right now. The knifing stuff is really fun. The commander stuff is new and it works, and people are able to figure it out already. I'm hopping in here playing sessions with people who've never played before, and I'm getting knifed and I'm getting like run up on, and it's intuitive. It's not going to like blow your mind, but it's not going to confuse you.
Yeah.
But all the new stuff in here is really easy to get into, and everybody brings down this skyscraper every single time.
Yeah,
I think I've been killed by it twice now.
Yeah, but it actually really does. You know, we were talking earlier before you came on, and we were yapping about how we feel like, you know, this element of the game really has changed just the scope of Battlefield in general, because, you know, you actually said in one of your videos, if I was correct, that you were hoping that dynamic map elements were going to be a thing, correct, in Battlefield?
I think a lot of people's like wishes have come true with Battlefield 4. You look at Battlefield 3 and you see it as a great game, and you see where it could evolve, you know, with levolution.
Yeah.
And this was something that everybody was talking about, like having the Kubra Dam map from Battlefield 2, except where you could destroy the dam mid-map and like take out part of the map and reinvent the map in the way that it flows. This was something that people were like, oh, that's just a pipe dream. It'll never be in the game. And now we're seeing a gigantic skyscraper coming down. And I don't have any actual confirmed information on this, but I got a feeling that most of the maps are going to involve some sort of awesome dynamic levolution aspect to them.
Yeah, and I do actually like the fact, I was talking this with Corey earlier, and as well as Patrick Bach, that, you know, the dynamic map elements, the levolutions, they are very, very different, right? They are not just there for aesthetic purposes. They're not just there to be like, oh, we can make a building crash down because we're EA and we can do that. No, like, this is something that, you know, DICE looked at and said, you know, if we do this, it has to impact gameplay. It has to be something that I guess you can really feel like it just changes the scope of everything. That certainly has happened here. What are your thoughts in regards to that, besides it just being a dynamic map element?
Well, speaking about this map here, the Siege of Shanghai, when the skyscraper is up, people on top are susceptible to the AC-170 gunship now, I think it is. It was the AC-130.
I think everyone's just, I said AC-130, but I think it's gunship.
Yeah, we'll just call it the gunship. So on top of that, where the capture point is, you're susceptible to the gunship. Helicopters can fly up there. People can get on the roof and sort of camp it. And then the only ways to get up from the ground are through the elevators. So it's very easy to control.
Yeah.
So if you got air superiority, then you want the skyscraper up. If you got good power on the ground, it makes sense to turn your tanks and start shooting out those supports, bring the skyscraper down, and all of a sudden the battlefield is now on your level, and you don't have to worry about the gunship. And like, I know we were talking earlier, we saw that after the skyscraper comes down, there's a huge dust cloud, and anybody in the AC-130 has a hard time seeing targets on the ground there.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden everything changes, you know, targets become more valuable, targets become harder to see, and that's just awesome. And I can't wait to see what other kind of maps and what other kind of levolution aspects they have in these different kinds of maps, because I'm sure we're not just going to have giant city maps. It could be anything.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. You know, if for all we know, like you said, that dam map that you had talked about, that could be something that is brought into the game later on. You know, like
or the
we don't know.
single-player carrier splitting in half. Maybe a sinking ship was an idea that people were throwing around earlier.
That was certainly. You know, that would certainly be really cool. You know, and especially with the, I guess, the attention that they've been putting on the amphibious assault gameplay, you know, has certainly been pretty cool as well. Like, you know, now the boats are more effective than they were prior. You also can also abandon ship on a jet ski, which is a nice little touch too. So it's pretty cool things.
It's nice. Now you don't go down with the ship as much, because there's no point to bail out in the middle of the ocean. You're just going to get shot.
Exactly.
But you got your little getaway craft. The boats have got miniguns on either side. I was messing around with the ways to customize the boats. You can put anti-air rockets on there. You can put anti-ground rockets.
Really?
I mean, these things are not like adorable little boats that tanks are just like, let's shoot that boat and get some easy kills. It's like, oh crap, there's a boat and he's about to waste us all.
Yeah, really cool. You can customize the tanks as well, which was something. Have you had a chance to dabble with the customization? Anything that really caught your eye so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's pre-alpha, so they give you the options to select, but then you'll run out there with them and they won't actually be implemented yet. So I've only been able to play with the basic settings, the zoom and stuff, but they got the infrared, they got some interesting shell options, and I'm going to get into that later. I just kind of quickly ran through them all. I love the camo aspect. The helicopters, instead of just having anti-vehicle rocket pods, they now seem to have rocket pods that are designed for anti-infantry.
Yeah.
And so that'll be really interesting to see what happens. The limited ammo capacity is really cool now, and it seems like, I don't know if you know, but it seems like vehicle ammo seems to recharge, but sort of at a slow rate. So you can't just spam a target like endlessly until you finally kill whatever it is you're shooting at from long range. You got to kind of conserve your ammo and use it when necessary, but it seems to charge back up from time to time.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, I had to think about it real quick. I saw that happen before as well, that the vehicle ammo kind of replenishes, but I also do know that the commander can speed up that process too. So that is the other thing that I had saw before. Commanders can drop vehicle ammo, and they can also drop in vehicles. Like, there's a lot of cool things that the commander himself can do. And I guess that is something I want to ask you about too, the commander mode. What are your thoughts about it? Because this is something that was in BF2, and you told me that you actually came in and started doing videos with BF3. So I'm sure that this is something, while it may not be new, because I know you must have done your homework. I guess, how does it impact you as a player?
Well, I'm familiar with Commander Mode from BF2, and I might be one of the outliers in that everybody was like, I want Commander Mode back from BF2, and I was like, I don't want Commander Mode back.
Okay.
It's not that it's not cool. It adds an awesome element to the competitive scene, which I know you love.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great addition for competitive gameplay. We'll have to see how it plays out in the casual style, because you put a lot of power in one player's hands, and if that player doesn't know what they're doing, or they're whatever, they're just not doing their job right, it can make or break a team, especially, and that's could be aggravating if you're really doing your job well on the ground and your commander's not backing you up properly. So it's sort of like the situation in Battlefield 3. If you got a really good jet pilot, he can kind of dominate the whole game, and it doesn't matter too much what the ground forces are doing. So I hope there's a nice balance between commander, and we'll just have to see, because it's hard to tell at this point.
Yeah, so like I had a few conversations with Alexander, who actually was just up here talking with Corey Dunn a little while ago. And speaking of Corey Dunn, by the way, I just want to let you guys know, he is literally behind me playing Battlefield as I am commentating. So I'm working, and Corey Dunn is playing video games, because Mr. Lazy over here. No, I'm kidding. He's look. You see him right on the screen. You see him. He's there. He is, and he's looking at his teammates' screens. I haven't even had a chance to do that. I just want to let you guys know I'm very, very angry. You can hear the anger in my speech. I'm kidding. But yes. But seriously though, like in regards to, oh man, I lost my train of thought on this one.
Well, we're talking about commander mode.
Commander mode. There you go. You know, thank you. So, you know, I had spoke with Alexander about that before, and then Corey spoke to him as well. So commander mode, basically, they are looking at fair ways of putting the commander in there. It's, you know, reminiscent of other widespread games where they have tried to, you know, put leading positions for people and making sure that maybe an individual like reaches a certain point. Like, this is obviously speculation on my part. This isn't really any dice stuff, but these are things that, you know, when I talked to Alexander, he certainly seemed very astute on was fairness, and not just, you know, like, oh yeah, I'm spamming commander mode because I want to work on my KD. They're definitely going to have some kind of balance with it. So, and that really is the thing that I've been loving about DICE throughout this entire conference, and just in general in my dealings with them. They truly, truly care about balance.
Yeah.
Like, it is a big point of interest to them. So when you played, when you had your chance to hop into a few sessions, what were you playing normally? What was like your more go-to
I was trying to mix it up a bit. I felt like I was having a lot of luck with the support class, because I was going through my ammo real fast with the other classes, and then having to switch to sidearm. So support's got some pretty nice machine guns available to them, and I'm always looking for the nuances. You know, like the big picture stuff is stuff that you can read about online. I'm looking for the small stuff, and I think that one of the coolest things here is the new scope options, the new sight options.
Yeah.
You have all these cool options with new laser sights, new red dot sights. You got your flip up sights. You've got adjustable zoom settings for snipers now. And these are things that I think everybody was wishing were in Battlefield 3, and now that they're here in Battlefield 4, they're just done so well. I don't think I've played any other shooter that has sights that look this cool and are actually authentic sights too, like real stuff you would find on the modern military battlefield. They have the angled foregrip that Magpul makes, and that's really popular now, and it's just starting to show up in video games. And it's really cool because you have lots of options for how to configure a gun in real life, and they're starting to show up in Battlefield 4.
So for those who may not know, since you actually had a chance to mess around with it, we could have a lot of new viewers in here. What is the angled foregrip in your, like, from what you've been seeing and messing around with?
Okay, so you have vertical foregrip, which is common in Battlefield 3 and other shooters. And the way it's set up in this game is it allows you to shoot from the hip more accurately, and when you're moving, it's going to make your fire more accurate. The angled foregrip changes the way that you hold the gun, and that's going to help you control the recoil better. So if you're aiming down sights and you're trying to pick off that guy at long range with some burst fire, that's going to help you out. But it's not going to help you out with the hip fire situation or the movement. So it's just all these awesome ways to really spec out your gun to suit your particular playstyle.
Yeah, and one of the things that I was so excited to see, and I've been talking about this all day long, was the canted iron sights.
I'm sorry.
The canted iron sights.
Okay,
with the iron sight on the side, and then you have your aiming as well. You have like a red dot or maybe a scope or something like that. I just love that. Like,
it's the coolest looking. I mean, as soon as they showed that in the first trailer, I was so pumped.
I was like, is that going to be a multiplayer? Like, that's literally what I thought to myself. And then when I saw it in there, like, Corey was like, hey, you should use the canted iron sight. It's like, oh, crap, it's here. And I was so into it. I actually used that in my first run through, and I tore some people up with it because, I mean, I have the best of both worlds. Got my iron sight action, got my scope. It was really, really cool.
And what's so cool and very much in DICE tradition is that things are not just aesthetic in this game. It has a purpose. You throw a nice 4x sight on your assault rifle there, you can pick off guys at long range. But if you want to downgrade to that close quarter, you switch over to the canted iron sight, the 45-degree iron sight. You can pick them off in close quarter. So it is actually useful. It's not just like, hey, look how cool it is to switch the gun on its side and shoot that way.
Yeah, without a doubt. And while I have you here, might as well ask you about. We've been talking about all the different things that were introduced here, but we're looking at one of the biggest and my favorite feature in this in Battlefield 4, spectator mode.
Yes.
What do you think about it, man? I mean, as a YouTuber, this must make you really, really happy.
Absolutely. The community has spoken. We've all heard the cries for spectator mode. It's a big deal for competitive gaming. This is what everybody in the Battlefield community wants, and I was actually a little bit part of the competitive community for Battlefield 2 gaming, and spectator mode was used really, really well, and it was fun to watch the games. Even if you weren't playing in the games, even if you weren't that big of a Battlefield fan, you could still watch from spectator mode and understand what was going on. And it looks really cool here. I'll admit I'm a little bit behind the times because you guys have been showing it off online and I've been here playing the game and stuff.
Of course.
But what are some of the details with spectator mode?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you asked because I'm pretty sure that there are people who may not know. So first and foremost, as you can see, right at the top of the screen there, if we can flip through it, right now we're in free cam mode, but let's go to tabletop perspective. This is actually my favorite perspective here. This is showing pretty much what maybe the commander sees, as well as when you respawn, you see this mode here, but you see everything, right? You see all the action, you see where the arrows are coming, you see when the Tomahawk missiles are coming through as well. That gives you a good idea. So that's a really cool aspect. And we're on board with this fine gentleman here. So let's go to first-person mode. Now, first-person mode is the regular what you see is what you get. This is the standard, and we all know and love this stuff. But then here's one of my favorites. It stands out a lot. Tabletop is my favorite, but this third person certainly is up there. Let's go to the third person mode now. This is cool because you can actually see the card there, and exactly now you're talking, right? So you can see the card, the player card, and get an idea of what they're using. You can see he's using muzzle brake, canted iron sights, as well as an angled grip. He does not have a lot of ammo left, and these are the things that you see. You see how many grenades he has, his health, and that kind of stuff in it is certainly very cool. So there's a lot of different things, and keep in mind, folks, for those of you guys watching as well as for you, LevelCap, this is not final by any means. This is this could very well change as far as like what they intend on doing down the line. There is a lot of variety out there, and they're more than aware of it. So they are going to be doing tweaks to spectator mode after this event is done, without a doubt.
Yeah, this looks amazing, and the third-person perspective is so important for spectator mode in competitive gaming, because when you're playing first-person, people watching aren't necessarily tuned into the headset, so you can't hear people sneaking up around you or behind you. Somebody comes in for that knife kill. In third-person perspective, it's great for the viewership. You see the guy sneaking up, you know the person playing has no idea he's there, so it just gives you that awesome perspective. And frankly, the graphics in Battlefield 3 are so good, the animations are so good, that they're really doing the game some justice by showing off the player models. Yeah,
and that really is like such a testament to the Frostbite 3 engine that DICE has been producing, because you know that this engine itself is being showed off in all of its glory. There more than Battlefield 4 is using the Frostbite 3 engine. There are more games that are using it, and you can see like its versatility. And when I actually spoke with Alexander about this the other day, I asked him, you know, about spectator mode and then throwing it in there, and he had said it's because Frostbite 3 is so flexible that we can do things like this. And that, I mean, wow, just the fact that DICE had built this in the game and built this this system here with the Frostbite 3 engine, it really is kind of shocking. So, you know, as you can see, guys, the game is winding down a little bit now. It is 266 to 248. Right now, I would actually say it's a pretty close game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 2 points. Oh, they just lost one of them there. So it looks like US might be going down, but
but that's pretty much it.
The layout of the map is great.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, so LevelCap, I mean, you know, before we close things out here, of course, I just want to ask you, what's next for you down the line? I mean, are you still going to get out there posting videos and all that good stuff?
Absolutely. I got a lot of recorded Battlefield 4 alpha gameplay coming up on the channel, so just stay tuned to that. We're going to be breaking down everything that is in the menu system, all the guns, all the attachments. Everything I know, I'm going to put up on YouTube and inform the viewers, so stay tuned for that.
Yep, and there you can see the 64 players that are here. No one else at E3 is doing what DICE is doing here. They have 64 PCs lined up, right? And so many people coming through. There's literally always a crowd of people that are here trying to play Battlefield 4. It really is something to sight to behold, right?
It's awesome, and DICE has done a great job of moving people through. Also, with 64 computers, you can get crowds through. It's like a little mini army every time walking onto the stage, and then the next army coming along. So most of the people here that I've talked to have gotten a chance to play it.
That's very cool. And yeah, that's right. And, you know, of course, guys, you can tune into the live stream. Since you're not here at E3 2013, you can tune into the live stream for more awesome gameplay live from the show floor at E3 2013. But LevelCap, thank you so much, man, for your time.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it, man. Make sure you guys watch LevelCap's videos on YouTube, youtube.com/LevelCap. And we are going to be right back with some more Battlefield 4 action coming at you from the LA Convention Center in Los Angeles, California. You know, Battlefield 4 really has been quite the showing here, and it's won so many nominations. It's been awarded so many nominations so far, and really just the praise keeps on coming through. Keep on tweeting us. Keep on going on Reddit as well as Facebook. You can go to facebook.com/Battlefield. You can go to reddit.com. It's our Battlefield there. And you can also go to Twitter. So twitter.com/Battlefield. I know I said Twitter, but I just want to emphasize on that. Needless to say, though, guys, we will see you in a little bit. Do not go anywhere. More Battlefield 4 action coming at you live from E3 2013.